Manila College Glee Club para sa taong 2022 to 2023. Pagkatapos ng pag-awit, inaanyayahang maupo ang lahat para sa panalangin pamimilihan ng Company of Ateneo Dancers.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, halap ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit ng buka. May dilaw kang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw ng kailan pamadi magtitilim, lupa ng araw ng lalapit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
dadalo sa Hinirang 2022, ang pagkilala sa mga hinirang na magtatapos at tatanggap ng katipunan. Ngayong gabi, ipinagdiriwang natin ang mga mag-aaral at mga organisasyong patuloy na nagbibigay inspirasyon sa gitna ng mapanghamong panahon. Narito upang ibahagi ang kanyang pambungad na mensahe. Handugan natin ng masigabong palakpakan ang ating Vice President for the Loyola Schools, Dr. Maria Luz C. Vilches.
Sorry. Father Bobby, VP Lino, Dr. Lilan de la Cruz, Mr. Tats Kiblat, Matek, our faculty members, our mga hinirang, tunay na mga hinirang kayo, the way you look it tonight. Good afternoon. I'm actually very pleased to come face to face with our student leaders in the Loyola schools. You have been working steadily and creatively behind the scenes, behind closed doors, or within those little window frames on Zoom. Teka lang, can I just take my mask off? That's better. Thank you. When I was coming in this afternoon, I thought to myself, wow, this is a grand occasion. And you were very excited to get to know one another again in person. And I think that was a great, great joy for me to have come in again to say welcome to this celebration of Hinirang. I must say that you all look very, very much better and elegant in where you are right now than when you are facing Zoom in those little screens. You cannot say, though, right now that you have no internet connection so that your videos, you cannot show them, but everybody is here today, and so thank you. In this gathering of both graduating and new student leaders, the kuyas and the ates, now wiser from their leadership challenges, are handing the baton down to the younger batch whose turn it is to grow wiser and stronger. This is a necessary ritual of passage to recognize achievements and end of tour of duty and to say thank you very much. To recognize the potential and great possibilities of what lies ahead for those who will now carry the torch forward and to say yes. I always think that to be a leader is a choice. You can be thrust into a role that you did not quite understand, but you can also get out of it quickly, actually. However, if you opt to stay, it means there is something about that role that beckons you to be the best of who you are. There's such a thing as grace of office. The office or the role shapes you through both its joys and challenges. So yield to the role then and discover for yourself many wonders that will unfold before you. I'm currently reading a book titled Jesus and Lao Tzu, The Parallel Sayings. And there's one thing that has caught my attention, which I think leaders might as well take to heart. I have a little slide there. Yes. It's Lao Tzu's saying that is parallel to the Beatitudes. It says, to yield is to be preserved whole. To be bent is to become straight. To be hollow is to be filled. To be tattered is to be renewed. To be in want is to possess. To have plenty is to be confused. I congratulate the outgoing and incoming presidents of the 56 accredited organizations in the Loyola schools, including the officers of the Sanggunian, the Council of Organizations of Ateneo Manila, the Confederation of Publications, and other recognized groups. Mga hinirang kayo lahat, as we have seen, as we will see this afternoon in this ceremony. So I'd like for you to continue to be good leaders. Don't be afraid to yield, to be bent, to be hollow, to be tattered, and to want. Just have the right measure for what you need so that you will not be confused. I wish you well and happy and enjoy this afternoon. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Dr. Vilches. Kamakailan lamang ay itinatag ang Office of the Vice President for Mission Integration o VPMI. Upang mas makilala pa natin ang OVPMI at para ibahagi sa atin ang kanyang mensahe, palakpakan natin ang ating Vice President for Mission Integration, Ginoong Lino Rivera.
Father Bobby Yap, VP Milo Vilches, Dr. Dylan de la Cruz, my buddy Matek, Tats Kiblat, my dear leader students, good afternoon. Today marks a time of transition for the outgoing officers. It means a letting go of responsibilities and privileges. For the incoming officers, it means taking on the reins of governance. For the outgoing officers, we say thank you for your leadership and service. It is our hope that your experience of leadership has taught you many lessons and will prepare you for other future leadership roles, especially when you are outside the walls of the Ateneo. For the incoming officers, know that leadership is not about living a life of privilege, but living a life of service. Know that your leadership role will provide you many opportunities to learn, to make mistakes, and to learn from those mistakes. But the question I ask of both groups, those that are outgoing leaders and those incoming leaders, the question I ask is this: what is our role beyond the walls of the Ateneo? Our constituency is not just the members of your organization. Because we are the Ateneo, we care about society, we care about our country. In a world threatened by climate change, disinformation, historical revisionism, human rights abuses, and perhaps many more to come, what are we called to do as leaders? Where do we lead our organizations? Would it be enough to just look at our own internal affairs? Or are we called to do more? So to both groups of outgoing officers and incoming officers, I pray that you put these years to good use, and again to prepare you to be the leaders that will be of service to God and the common good. Thank you and congratulations to everyone.
Maraming salamat, Sir Lino. Naging puno ng iba't ibang hamon ang mga nakaraang taon para sa ating lahat. Para sa susunod na video, pakinggan natin ang kwento ng ilan sa ating mga hinirang.
March 9, 2020.
Nung in-announce na suspended yung classes, sabi namin,
Sige guys, see you in 2 weeks.
Akala namin blessing siya para makapagpahinga tapos sabak ulit.
Pero yung 2 weeks, naging 2 months.
Yung 2 months, naging 2 sems. Yung 2 sems, naging 2 years.
Paano ako nag-react?
disbelief and denial.
Totoo ba to?
Final na? Sure na?
We were lost, confused.
Napakaraming tanong at napakaraming hamon.
Paano na yung project na matagal na namin pinaghahandaan? Magtatrabaho pa ba ako?
Kami ang mga hinirang.
Mga hinirang na mamuno ng may tapang at galing.
Mga hinirang na maglingkod ng buong puso.
Mga hinirang na tumindig at tumugon sa gitna ng mapanghamong panahon.
At para sa inyong mga susunod na hinirang.
Patuloy lang.
Dahil ngayon,
Higit kailanman.
Hindi kayo nag-iisa.
Sa inyong patuloy na paglilingkod,
Kasama ninyo ang buong Ateneo.
Mga minamahal naming panauhin, ang Direktor ng Office of Student Activities ng Loyola Schools, Ginoong Tats Kidlat.
Magandang gabi sa lahat. Hindi ko napigilang maging emotional sa video. Ang hirap ng pinagdaanan ng mga hinirang sa nakalaang 2 taon. Alam niyo yan. At nandito tayo ngayon dahil nasa lubong natin ng posibleng pagbabalik sa nakasanayan nating pagsasama-sama. Ilang taon na rin ang nakalipas mula nang una nating bigyang pagkilala at parangal ang higit kumulang 400 student leaders mula sa iba't ibang mga grupo at organisasyon sa loob ng pamantasan. Bagaman hinamon tayo ng pandemya sa nakaraang 2 taon, hindi nito napigilan ang ating pagnanais na bigyang pagkilala at parangal ang mga hinirang na naglingkod ng buong puso at walang pag-inda sa hirap na dulot na hamon ng panahon. Sa nakaraang 2 taon, itinanghal ang Hinirang online. Naging matagumpay pa rin naman ang pagdiriwang na ito, bagaman hindi natin nagawang mabati ang isa't isa sa personal. At ngayon, sa araw na ito, malugod nating sinasalubong ang pagbabalik ng Hinirang sa Leong Hall. Kaharap natin mismo ang isa't isa, maririnig natin ang mga palakpakan, makakasama natin ang isa't isa sa munting salo-salo pagkatapos. Ito rin ang unang pagkakataon na magtitipon-tipon ang ating mga hinirang at makakasama at makakwentuhan ang mga kapwa nila pinuno. Isang masayang okasyon. Nawa, hudyat na ito ng unti-unti nating pagbabalik sa nakasanayan nating pakikisalamuha sa isa't isa. Hari nawa. Bilang simbolo ng kanilang pagiging hinirang, iginagawad sa ating mga student leaders ang tanda ng hinirang na siyang makikita ninyong nakadantay sa mga balikat nila ngayong gabi. Ang kulay puti ay sumisimbolo ng kabutihan at kagandahang loob. Ang bughaw naman ay isang pagpapaalala na tayo, kayo, ay mga anak ni Ignacio na naatasang magtaguyod ng kanyang mga aral at misyon. Ito ang tanda ng inyong pagiging mga hinirang na tumugon at tumindig sa gitna ng mapanghamong panahon. Mga panauhin, sa pagkakataong ito, ikinagagalak kong ipakilala sa inyong lahat ang mga hinirang na magtatapos para sa taong 2021-2022 at ang mga hinirang na tatanggap ng katungkulan para sa taong 2022-2023. Para sa ating mga hinirang na magtatapos, kung kasama ninyo ngayon ang tatanggap ng katungkulan para sa inyong organisasyon, pagdating sa gitna ng entablado ay inaanyayahan ko kayong igawad sa inyong kahalili ang suot ninyong tanda ng pagiging hinirang. Simulan natin. Mula sa ISEC ng Ateneo de Manila or ISEC Ateneo, magtatapos Tyra Janelle E. Sanchez, hahalili Rolling Adrian A. de la Cruz. Para sa Association for Communications Technology Management or ACPM, magtatapos Angelica Marie A. Valdez, hahalili Martina Dominic T. Marquez. Para sa Ateneo Association of Communications Majors or ACOM, magtatapos Jennifer Catherine C. Clemente. Para sa Ateneo Association of European Studies Students or AUS, magtatapos Patricia Gabriel N. Ceballos, hahalili Jasmine Delia Emily E. Harris. Para sa Ateneo Association of Ateneo Biological Organization, Explore, Experience, Excel or Ateneo Box, magtatapos Gabriel Luis C. Lanuza. Para sa Ateneo Blue Consulting Group or BCG, magtatapos Leila Eunice B. Clemente, hahalili Darren Peter M. Calandang. Or Blue Rep, magtatapos Ana Patricia D. Binobo, hahalili Francesca Ann R. Ramos. Para Para sa Ateneo Catechetical Instruction League o ASIL, magtatapos Karina, Rachel, and magtatapos Nilson V. Abad, hahalili Patricia Joy R. Abarquez. Para sa Ateneo Christian Life Community, para sa Ateneo Christian Life Community, magtatapos Thea Gerald Maria S. Duran, hahalili Michelle D. Chua. Para sa Ateneo College Ministry Group o ACMG, magtatapos Jared Mika S. Jacinto, hahalili Mariela C. Sario. Para sa Ateneo Collegiate Society of Advertising o COSA, magtatapos Anika Katrina G. Franco, hahalili Juan Carlos L. Ramirez. Para sa Ateneo Consultants for Organization Development and Empowerment o CODE, magtatapos Hans Rinaldi B. Gonzalez. Para sa Ateneo de Manila College Glee Club, magtatapos Dana Bernice S. Cunanan, hahalili Carissa Isabel M. Balagtas. Para sa Ateneo Debate Society, magtatapos Irene Teresa G. de la Cruz, hahalili David Dimitri Africa. Para sa Ateneo Economics Association, magtatapos Francis Paul C. Paget at Maria Hani Avery Andrade. Para sa Ateneo Education Geared Towards Empowerment o Ateneo EDGE, magtatapos Serge Andre F. Valdez, hahalili Kenzie Ivan O. So. Para sa Ateneo Electronics and Computer Engineering Society or ACES, magtatapos kay Antoinette Avila, hahalili Justin Gabriel MC. Para sa Ateneo Entertainment, para sa tao, bayan, lansangan at Diyos o entablado, magtatapos Eduardo Carlo Ildefonso F. Oleta. Para sa Ateneo Environmental Science Society, magtatapos Uriel Victor M. Escobedo. Para sa Ateneo Gabay, magtatapos Isabel Micaela A. Salsona, hahalili Gabriel Aina Galvez. Si Gab at si Sam. Para sa Ateneo Hinomoto, magtatapos Isabel Luis Obsena. Para sa Ateneo Junior Marketing Association or AJMA, magtatapos Maya Therese S. Coronel, hahalili Sofia Celina A. Cuo. Para sa Ateneo League of Physicists or LEAPS, magtatapos Marian Desiree C. Avendaño, hahalili Jose Gabriel C. Sinches. Para sa Ateneo Lex, magtatapos Sydney Lay M. Tan, hahalili Josephine Marie B. De Malanda. Para sa Ateneo Lingua Ars Cultura o ALAC, magtatapos Irvin Gerald Y. de las Peñas, hahalili Danica Mariel L. Quijano. Para sa Ateneo Management Association o AMA, magtatapos Jose Gabriel S. Castillo, hahalili Ana Jacinta C. Jimenez. Para sa Ateneo Management Economics Organization o NECO, magtatapos Luis Margot M. Cuenca, hahalili Sebastian C. Matugas. Para sa Ateneo Management Para sa Ateneo Management Engineering Association, magtatapos Angelica Marie R. Dulpia, hahalili Don Russell H. Lim. Para sa Ateneo Management Information Systems Association o MISA, magtatapos Abigail Nicole L. Chua, hahalili Maverick Simon P. Pino. Para sa Ateneo Management of Applied Chemistry Association o MACA, magtatapos Nina Lian S. Ibit, hahalili Monica Tyra V. Ke. Para sa Ateneo Mathematics Society, magtatapos Ralph Joshua P. Macarasi, hahalili Cristina Bianca C. Malyari. It's okay. Para sa Ateneo Musician School or AMP, magtatapos Kaylen Andrea S. Reyes, hahalili Neil Christian E. Tew. Para sa Ateneo Pierce, magtatapos Rylan Gabriel O. Mercado at hahalili Xavier Siso. Para sa Ateneo Project for Asian and International Relations or APAIR, Magtatapos Alyssa Nicole A. Oresca. Hahalili Nadine Janica Ismael. Para sa Ateneo Psyche, magtatapos Antonio Joaquin C. Querido. Hahalili Lance Aldwin C. Abuel. Para sa Ateneo Special Education Society o SPEED, magtatapos Bianca Dominic C. Siasoko at hahalili Angelico Irvin L. Garcia. Para sa Ateneo Statistics Circle o ASTAT, magtatapos John Lenzel A. Dagohoy, hahalili Paul Andrew A. Tatag. Para sa Ateneo Student Catholic Action o ATSCA, magtatapos at hahalili na rin sa aking sarili, Kinan Clark B. Gawaran. Siya po ulit. Para sa Ateneo Student Exchange Council o ASEC, magtatapos Sofia G. Evidente. Para sa Barefoot Philippines, magtatapos Alvi E. Lim III, hahalili Mariana Eugenie M. Alikpala. Para sa Baybayin Ateneo, magtatapos Angela Gael M. Magno, hahalili Randall John D. Palesco. Para sa Company of Ateneo Dancers o CADS, magtatapos Andrea Sabina D.G. Manlutak, hahalili Thea Patricia M. Gonzaga. Para sa Computer Society of the Ateneo o COMPSAT, magtatapos Rene Antonio S. Castillo, hahalili Charles Andrew P. Lim. Para sa Development Society of the Ateneo, magtatapos Nicole A. Masagka. Para sa Institute of Skin Divers of Ateneo o ISDA, magtatapos Syra Elizabeth B. Francisco. Para sa Kite Ateneo, magtatapos Matthew C. So, hahalili Augustine Emmanuel P. Iyala. Para sa Loyola Film Circle, magtatapos Frances Diane G. Enriquez, hahalili Marilyn Cassandra V. Magdaleno. Para sa Loyola Mountaineers, magtatapos Danilo A. Leigla Jr., hahalili Rain Ryan S. Fernandez. Para sa Musmos Ateneo, magtatapos Jan Arvin S. Petalver, hahalili Liam Alfredo G. Villamor. Para sa Free Medical Society of the Ateneo, or PMSA, magtatapos Enrico Gerard S. Sanchez, hahalili Maria Daniela Luis H. Awanan. Para sa Tanghalang Ateneo, magtatapos Cristel Angeline Ventura, hahalili Maria Amelia D. Castro. Para sa The Ateneo Assembly, magtatapos Arian Cristel Q. Garcia, hahalili Matthew Flor Bernard M. Flores. Magtatapos Alyssa H. Soriano. Mula naman sa ating Confederation of Publications, mula sa Heights Ateneo, magtatapos Stanley Tristan Y. Guevara, hahalili Andrea Faustine A. Isaac. Mula sa Matanglawin Ateneo, magtatapos Doreen Rain C. Brazil, hahalili Doreen Rain C. Brazil. At mula sa The Gaidon, magtatapos Tatiana L. Maligro, hahalili Marina P. Mata. Mula naman sa Ateneo Orsem, mga magtatapos na pinuno John Von D. Carolino at Justin Clarice S. Valdez, hahalili Matthew Zachary Gapus at Gabriela Maria D. Pinga. Mag-orsem sila ng 3 batch. Para sa mga hinirang mula sa sanggunian at mga karatig na ahensya nito, mula sa Ateneo Comelec, Rica May L. Gutierrez magtatapos, hahalili Bettina B. Manuel. Naman sa Ateneo Student Judicial Court, magtatapos pero magpapatuloy sa kanyang pagiging Chief Magistrate, Abraham Albert P. Diaz. Mula naman sa Department of Student Welfare and Services or DSWS, magtatapos Kerima Ruth M. Sonaco, hahalili John Matthew A. Tuazon. At mula naman sa ating Office of the Ombudsman, magtatapos Francine Camille J. Godinez at hahalili Timothy Lloyd M. Icarma. Mula naman sa ating mga student council, ang ating sanggunian ng mga mag-aaral ng mga paaralang Loyola ng Pamantasang Ateneo de Manila, magtatapos, wala siya dito ngayon, Christine Lara G. Angan, si Cara, at hahalili Tristan Joseph A. Alcantara, TJ, ang ating sanggunian president. At mula naman sa Council of Organizations of the Ateneo, magtatapos Isabel Angelica M. Peñera at hahalili Asunta Nina DJ San Andres. Gusto ko rin mag-match yung baron ko sa mask ko. Muli, palakpakan natin ang ating mga hinirang. Ngayong araw ay kasama din natin ang isa sa mga hinirang na tumanggap ng malaking katungkulan noong 2019. Nagsilbi siya bilang pangalawang Pangulo ng Sanggunian noong 2019-2020 at bilang Pangulo nito sa sumunod na taong 2020-2021. Ang pamunuan ng Sanggunian na siyang unang sinubok ng mga hamon ng pandemya. Upang ibahagi ang kanyang mensahe para sa kanyang mga kapwa hinirang, palakpakan natin ang hinirang na Most Outstanding Individual sa nakaraang Loyola Schools Awards for Leadership and Service, Program Awardee ng Political Science, at valedictorian ng magtatapos na klase 2022, J.D. Behari.
Father President Bobby Yap, Vice President for the Loyola Schools, Dr. Marlu Vilches, Vice President for Mission Integration, Sir Lino Rivera, Associate Dean for Student Formation, Dr. Lilan de la Cruz, OSAD Director, Sir Tats Kiblat, UMCO Director, Ma'am Matek Villanueva, OSA formators, faculty, and professionals present today, and most importantly, fellow student leaders, a pleasant evening to everyone. Masaya ako makita kayo ng on-site ngayong araw. I deem it as a great honor to be invited as the student speaker for Hinirang, the induction of the student leaders of the Loyola Schools. Siyempre, hindi ako makahindik sa apanyaya ni Sir Aaron. Nahiya naman ako. Sa dami ng utang na loob ko sa OSA, sino ba naman ang hindi mahihiya? Pero, tinanggap ko ang pagkakataong ito dahil nakita ko ito bilang oportunidad upang magbahagi sa komunidad kung saan ako lumaki. Kung saan tayong lahat lumaki at patuloy na lalaki. That is why today, I hope to share a few requests to both outgoing student leaders and to those just starting their terms. Ito po ay mga habilin. Mga habilin na sa aking palagay ay makabubuti sa inyo, sa LS, at sa ating mahal na bayan. Base na rin sa mga karanasan ko sa nakalipas na 4 na taon. Parang kailan lang nang una tayong nakapasok sa mundo ng student activities dito sa LS. Lahat naman tayo may kwento kung paano tayong lahat nagsimula. May nag-message sa'yo na pwede ka bang tumakbo, tapos hindi mo alam kung ano yung job description pero tumakbo ka pa rin. Yung pagkakataon po na yun para sa akin, I was fresh out of senior high school, and that was actually before I was actually enrolled. Before I was enrolled, patambay-tambay na po ako sa OSA noon. Maalala nila Sir Tats at Sir Nilion. That was the long summer before I entered college. I was asked by then Sanggu President Haya Bendanya to lead a new department that would engage with the Loyola Schools administration. Our first project was actually Mateo Up All Night. I'm not sure if my batchmates remember that. But basically, that was the project which offered a 24 hours to study hall service with free coffee and Milo to students preparing for finals. When Mateo Up culture was still a thing, remember? Yeah. Naalala ko pa yun kasi ang bigat-bigat ng bit-bit kong baso ng tubig galing sa water refilling station sa may SM Blue. Gate 1 yung dinaan ko po papuntang JSEC. Tapos, naalala ko pa yung tumulong na guard na naghanap ng water dispenser na pahiram ng office ni Doc Marlo. Parang never namin binalik yun, nasa Sango room pa po. Sa puntong yun, una kong naranasan ang magpagabi sa campus. A first taste of being a college student leader. At dahil fresh out of high school po ako noon at entering into college, tapos malakas pa yung ulan sa may JSEC, napagmuni-muni kong ito ang pakiramdam na gusto kong maranasan sa susunod na 4 na taon. Maraming natututunan habang maraming natutulungan. Lumalago, hindi lang mag-isa, kundi lang may kasamang iba. I know that many of you have that memorable first experience too, which I hope you can cherish and hold on as you enter into your new roles, either inside Ateneo or outside of it. Okay, bilis po ng panahon. Most of the outgoing org leaders are actually my batchmates. Though you guys are wearing face masks, I know that you guys have aged as I have. Joke ko nga sa mga unang beses ko makita out of Zoom. Parang tumanda kayong lahat. Ako rin naman. So sa dami ba naman ng napagdaanan na natin, mula sa mga socio-political events, mula sa pagsisimula ng Duterte administration, hanggang sa start ng Marcos administration, hanggang sa transition ng org life sa pandemic, natural lang po na mapagod habang hindi namamalayan ang paglipas ng panahon. Kaya ang una kong habilin sa inyong lahat, sulitin niyo ang 1 taon na meron kayo. Mabilis lang yan. Make the most out of the time you have. Don't waste time changing everything from the previous year and building from scratch. Instead, build on the gains that you have been made and enact sustainable improvements from there. That's why, as you have mentioned earlier, you're transferring the sash. You're not weaving it from the start, right? Okay. Make good use of the time that you have so you can ensure that your members grow alongside the communities that you serve. I think it should go both hand in hand. I think that's the point of what we're doing, right? Siyempre, kasama na rin ang pagsulit ng panahon. Treat your time as student leaders as once-in-a-lifetime opportunities to learn, enjoy, and grow with people who share the same causes with you. Dahil pag alis nyo ng Ateneo, ibang-iba na ang mundo. This does not mean being perfect as individuals. In fact, leading this early affords you some wiggle room to make mistakes, and that's okay. But I don't mean being careless, rather, I mean having the humility to learn from one's errors and growing from there. My second request to all of you, collaborate within and outside the organizations that you belong to. Working with other people, groups within the org, and other organizations, both within and outside the 4 gates of the campus, is a recognition that we alone cannot fulfill the changes and pursue the advocacies we wish to do so in the short amount of time that we have. It is an awareness of one's limitations, that we can complement other people and have other strengths that we can offer to other organizations and that they can do the same for us, is a feat in itself. Alam ko rin madaming meetings, PPF at MOA ang kailangang pagdaanan para lang magkaroon ng isang partnership ang mga org. So magkaroon muna tayo ng audience participation. Sino ba dito ang nakaranas na ng long and tedious process para magpasa ng partnership between 2 orgs? Pagtaas ng kamay. Kahit online, mahaba yung form, bit.ly o sa, di ba? You all know naman, di ba, the process. Because of this, because the process is long, because it needs to be long, we need to deepen and make our partnerships with other organizations more meaningful to make the time and effort of applying for the partnership count, for making the time of making a PPF count. Beyond memoranda of agreement for publicities, exchanging shares for likes, that's the most usual one that OSA receives. See, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Let us pursue partnerships instead that address issues or promote common advocacies within the outside campus. Para sulit yung pag-fill up ng form, di ba? Third and last insight. Let us be support systems for each other and transform organizations and the org community into a safe space. These past 3 weeks, I've been consulting batchmates from different backgrounds about our college journey because I'm preparing the valedictory address. Some of you are here, actually. A common theme in their sharings is that community is what makes Ateneo unique, what makes Ateneo, Ateneo. Whether it be the buildings on campus or servers in Discord, these are all empty without the people in them that make all the difference. Entering our organizations, we may have all been different, but over the same space and time, we got to work towards a common set of advocacies with others, even amidst a shared sense of uncertainty and fear. The way to reverse this is to support each other and to be there in good times and in bad, and to encourage an org culture that fosters the same. I know this is easier said than done, but we can start with small practices and changes. May it be being less formal with our members, to encouraging taking a breather when needed, or being more open about discussing issues encountered along the way. What's important is that we commit ourselves and sustain these efforts over time. The insights I've mentioned may not be new to you at all. While you may have heard it before, carpe diem, or seizing the day, working together, and empathy, these are all values that are as timeless as the advocacies that give meaning to the Ateneo org life. One of our most cherished traditions that makes Ateneo the place where we belong. And so today, I humbly call on all of you, both outgoing and incoming student leaders. Sa aking mga kapwa magre-retire, magpahinga kayo. Please lang. Pero pagkatapos, makiambag pa rin. Sa mga bagong appoint o halal, kayo na ang magpatuloy ng aming mga nagawa at magpatuloy ng mga hindi na namin makaya. Together, let us build an org community which is not seen as an additional burden of requirements, but as another way for holistic growth, where decisions are not wholly top-down and imposed on members, but is rather developed by consultative practice and built consensus, where the way of thinking is not homogeneous, but is open and diverse, and which works with and impacts not only the Ateneo community, but our society at large. Service and leadership for the community and nation that begins early on. This is the Ateneo way. It is to this mission that we are called to contribute in our own unique ways. Again, my congratulations to the outgoing officers for all that has been, and to our new presidents for all that will be. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataong makasama kayo. Diyos ti Agnina ken matago-tago takulosan.
Maraming salamat Sir Tats at JD sa pagsisilbing inspirasyon naming lahat. Ngayon, upang pamunuan ang panunumpa ng mga hinirang, narito sina Kitchi Pinera, Pangulo ng Council of Organizations of the Ateneo Manila para sa taong 2021-2022, at si TJ Alcantara, Pangulo ng Sanggunian ng mga mag-aaral ng mga paaralan Loyola para sa taong 2022-2023.
Sa aking mga kapwa outgoing student leaders, nais kong kilalanin ang serbisyo, sigasig, at pagmamahal na inyong ipinakita sa nagdaang taon. Sa ating pagpasa ng bandera, naway maalala nating pag-alabin ang ating pag-asa at nang patuloy na ipaglaban ang isang lipunang minimithi nating lahat. Inaanyayahan kong tumayo ang mga magsisitapos sa tungkulin. Itaas natin ang ating kanang kamay at sundan ang aking bibigkasing panunumpa. Ako ay nanunumpa sa harap ng Diyos at ng kapwa na ipagpapatuloy ko ang paglilingkod saan man ako dalhin ng tadhana. Sisikapin kong isabuhay ang mga layunin at adhikain at ang mga aral at tungkuling iniatas sa atin bilang mag-aaral ng Pamantasang Ateneo de Manila. Nangangako ako sa aking iiwang pangkat na magsisilbi akong mabuting halimbawa bilang tagapagtaguyod ng aming mga mithiin tungo sa lubos na ikabubuti ng ating bayan. Haharapin ko ang bawat hamon, nakahilig sa mga aral ni San Ignacio para sa kapwa, para sa bayan, at para sa Diyos. Kasihan nawa ako ng Diyos. Maligayang pagbati sa ating lahat, mga hinirang.
Mga kapwa ko, leader at mista, pumapasok tayong muli sa isang mahalagang parte ng ating kasaysayan. Nasa harap natin ang hamon na maglingkod ng buong puso sa kabila ng takot at walang kasiguraduhan. Ngunit tiwala ako sa paghubog sa atin ng Ateneo. Pipiliin natin patuloy na magmahal, magtaya at magpalaya. Dahil naniniwala tayo na kaya natin bumuo ng isang mas makatarungan at mas makataong lipunan para sa lahat. Nandito tayo ngayon upang magsilbing tanda ng ating pagtindig at pagpangako na tayo'y maglilingkod lagit-lagi para sa bayan, para sa Diyos at para sa kapwa. Inaanyayahan kong tumayo ang mga tatanggap ng katungkulan. Itaas natin ang ating kanang kamay at sundan ang aking bibig kasing panunumpa. Ako ay nangangako na gagampanan ko ang aking tungkulin bilang pinuno ng aking pangkat sa abot ng aking makakaya. At patuloy kong itataguyod ang layunin at adhikain hindi lamang ng paralang Loyola, kundi ng Pamantasang Ateneo de Manila. Tungo sa isang mas malawak at malayang edukasyong pangkolehiyo, para sa atingista na aktibong tumutugon sa tawag ng paglilingkod sa ating bansa. Higit sa lahat, nanunumpa akong kikilos nang naaayon sa mga inaasahan mula sa isang mabuting pinuno at isang mabuting Pilipinong makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan at makabansa. Kasihan nawa ako ng Diyos. Pagbati sa ating lahat, tuloy ang laban.
Maraming salamat Pichi at TJ at malugod na pagbati sa ating mga bagong hinirang. Sa taong 2020, mainit na tinanggap ng Ateneo ang bago nating Pangulo ng Pamantasan. upang ibahagi ang kanyang mensahe para sa ating mga hinirang. Mga kaibigan, palakpakan natin ng ating University President, Father Roberto Siap ng Kapisanan ni Jesus.
VP Marlo Vilches, VP Lino Rivera, Dr. Lilian de la Cruz, Mr. Tatsky Blat, Ms. Matic Villanueva, at higit sa lahat yung mga hinirang magtatapos at yung mga hinirang na magsisimula ng kanilang paglilingkod. I have a prepared speech, maiksi lang to kasi alam ko naghihintay na yung pagkain sa Ubuntu. Pero gusto ko bago ko basahin, nais ko sabihin na masaya talaga ako nandito ako ngayon. Nasurpresa ako. First time ko mga witness ng ganito. At yung feelings ko, very nostalgic and also at the same time very envious. Nostalgic dahil more than 40 years ago, I was one of those like you sitting, or I was actually student leader at Ateneo. I was president of CLC. Sino may president CLC? ACLC. Wala ba dito? Absent? Oh, there. Okay. And then, yun, still remember, siguro yung presidente nang nagsimula kay si Father Jet, magkabatch kami ni Father Jet. Father Jet was president of ACIL. In fact, doon kami nagkakilala at doon rin kami parang kaibigan at sabay kami pumasok sa society. So, seeing you all face to face makes me feel very nostalgic, allows me to remember those days. I was whispering to to Dr. Marlo, Dr. Marlo na sa panahon namin, more than 40 years ago, I think we were just mga 25 organizations siguro. I don't think it was this many. But it was good to remember that. Pero I'm also very envious kasi wala kaming ganito noon. Wala kami mga wearing barong and coming and sashes and formal oath-taking. In fact, naisip mo nga, itong hall na to, wala pa to noon. 40 years ago, itong building na to, wala pa to noon. Pero at the same time, the envy and the nostalgia makes me feel very consoled that leadership in the Ateneo is very much alive, student leadership is very much strong. There is really a desire that sabi natin sa Ateneo, we want to form leaders. Everybody is a leader. And I'm very happy that it's really alive, that leaders are coming out and really wanting to focus on the whole person flourishing. The variety of activities that are there is very encouraging and very inspiring. And most of all, that the leaders of the Ateneo continue to try and want and really desire to serve each other, to serve the community, to serve our wider society. So again, I'm very glad. Thank you, Tats, for inviting me and making sure I can join you. And I really wish you well. So let me now go to my speech. Good evening to everyone. It's a great pleasure to be able to join you in person for this ceremony and to witness a changing of the guard of the Loyola School student organizations. To the outgoing officers, know that we in Ateneo de Manila are truly proud of you and what you have accomplished. Through the challenges of the pandemic situation and the inordinate stress which each of you experienced, you led your organizations with strength, compassion, and creativity, achieving not only the purpose for which they were created, but also going above and beyond these by responding to the needs of our community and the most marginalized of our society. To the incoming leaders, you have prepared for this moment and have been trained by your predecessors. We are confident that you will lead your organizations and fellow students with the same strength, compassion, and creativity that all of you exhibited during the past year. As we begin the new school year in comparatively normal times, and with a new set of leaders not only in your organizations but in our country as well, let us remember that though the worst of the pandemic health crisis may be over, many of us and even more of our fellow Filipinos continue to suffer the effects of the economic downturn and the other issues caused by the pandemic. Together as one Ateneo de Manila community, let us strive to live out our university motto, Lux in Domino, and be the light of God's love and compassion in our organizations and families, our community, our country, and the world. Thank you very much, and may our Lord bless and guide you always.
Maraming salamat, Father Bobby, para sa inyong mensahe sa ating mga hinirang. Sa pagtatapos ng pagtitipon natin ngayong gabi, nananawagan tayo sa ating mahal na ina na siyang maglululang sa atin sa pagmamahal at pagkalinga ng kanyang pinakamamahal na anak. Nagsitayo tayong lahat upang awitin ang ating university hymn sa pamumuno ni Trish Bonobo at Cox Torrefiel mula sa Ateneo Blue Repertory. Sa pagdalo sa Hinirang 2022, lubos ang aming pasasalamat sa pagsama ninyo sa amin sa mahalagang pagtitipon ito. Ngayon inaanyayahan na